Hello and welcome to another edition of Breakfast Club, where we gather to look over our transfer and captaincy decisions ahead of the game week deadline. We'll also take in the drama of the lunchtime kickoff team sheets, which have been a little low on drama recently. And today I'm joined by David and Az. David, welcome.
Hi, how you doing? Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous right now. I haven't made my transfer yet. I'm mulling over
This is good.
what I'm going to do.
What we're going to do is we're going to go through Az's team first and mine. But during that, we're going to keep coming back to you to see if you've made a transfer and see if our discussion has swayed you.
So a website called
Az, well,
HasDavidMadeHisTransferYet.com.
yes, it could be. Az, welcome. How are
Hello.
you?
I'm good. You?
Oh, I caught you just as you were drinking. Yes, I'm fine. I made my transfers last week, so I'll reveal what they are shortly. But let's first of all have a look at your team. So, okay, we've got your team there. So, with teams up on the screen, who's come in, who's come out? Explain yourself.
It was a very annoying week because I really planned ahead. So I had a really nice idea for what I wanted to do over the international break. Save 2 transfers, -4, get Sterling in, downgrade Salah. All these kind of moves. And the Maddison injury, I could kind of take it on the chin. I think I could still have gone through with that plan. But then there's been, with the Richarlison doubt as well, and with maybe a bit of rotation at Liverpool, I just didn't feel happy going in with probably Doherty, Wan-Bissaka and Obiang all potentially coming into my team. And with success as well, with Deeney back. So I just had a few too many rotation risks. So I ended up taking Maddison out for Brooks. I'm in a very similar position to David, I think. Weighed up quite a few options. Weighed up sort of, taking a punt on Shaqiri, who I think's, a really good option for this week, but definitely not long term because he's not a sure starter in the team. Had a look at some kind of other players. I was short of people like Martial and Sigurdsson, but kind of anyone around the 6.5 mark and under. And in the end, I went for Brooks because we'll probably talk about it a bit later, but he, played kind of in a different position against Man United, played more attacking.
He was up front, wasn't he? He was
up front, really nice, more touches in the box, more goal attempts, all those kinds of things. And I just thought, I could still do my big move next week for a -8 rather than -4. But Brooks is someone that I'm more happy with having long term if I decide to do something else. So it's kind of more of a long term strategy move. And looking at my team this week, if everyone plays, I should do pretty well. And if they don't, then at least Doherty is attacking. I really don't want to rely on like Wan-Bissaka and definitely not Obiang.
Did you just have the one transfer? Have you banked a transfer? Or is that just the one transfer?
Just the one this week.
Okay, so you move Brooks. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put a table on the screen. And it's part of a Maddison replacements table. So I've shortened it as well, just to mention a few players, the ones that, including ones that you and I have brought in, but also ones that I know David is considering. So we're going to see as well. We're going to keep coming back to David to see if this has persuaded him to make.
Just going to start pulling my hair out.
Yeah, pulling your hair out. So on the table, it's some choice people here. I haven't really left out anyone. I don't think that we weren't considering here, but the top choice really I thought was Sigurdsson if you've got the money. So if you've got Maddison and you wanted to move him on and you've got a bit of spare money, get Sigurdsson in, I think. I know he's got Chelsea next, but then he's got Cardiff the following week. He's just a great player. Just look at those stats as well. 20. This bracket here, this is 7.5 midfielders and below. And he's rattled off this season 28 goal attempts and created 30 chances. And that has turned into goals and assists as well. So, he's not like a Nathan Redmond posting good shots and not delivering, or Kennedy even. And he's on corners as well. He's got everything there. If you've got the money, get Sigurdsson. I wish I had the money. I didn't. But look at your man there, as Brooks. He's doing quite well actually. 21 goal attempts for a 5.1 midfielder. I think you've made a good move there. Yeah,
it's just the fixtures. They're the issue, and also my really bad experience with Bournemouth players in general, which means that he's probably not going to do that well.
But 5-1 though, that's helpful, isn't it? With the fixtures, that's the key, isn't it?
That's it. He's the cheapest option in the Bournemouth team. The form's there, the fixtures aren't. So it'd be interesting to see whether form can kind of win out over that.
Okay, and we put Fraser in there as well. Now Fraser is also, he's delivering from really good underlying stats as well. There was something, I can't quite remember what it was this week. There was something that he was creating more chances than anyone in Europe, or I can't remember that. It was something absurd that was.
I think it was big chances, possibly.
Big chances. Yeah. Well, that's fine. That's pretty good. I remember something weird. I remember Joe Allen as well, posting a similar. And do you know what? And I remember Leon Britton, not the former Tory cabinet minister, but the Swansea man. He was posting similar stats to Xavi. In fact, he was beating Xavi and Iniesta back in the day. So I take those European things with a pinch of salt.
Joe Hart was most saves in Europe a few weeks ago.
Joe Hart, well, he needs to with that Burnley defence. Just as an aside, one thing I did this week actually, I put I had a look at Fulham's stats because I was looking at Liverpool's game and they're playing Fulham. And Fulham actually are not that. This is going to sound weird. Are not actually that bad at conceding chances. They're kind of low to mid-table. They're nowhere near as bad as teams like Burnley or Cardiff even. But what seems to be laying down is their goalkeeper. And I was just imagining Joe Hart there. And perhaps they wouldn't be conceding so much. But then I was also imagining Burnley with the Fulham goalkeeper and licking my lips with joy at the thought of 10-0 every week.
That'd be a horror show.
It would be an absolute horror show. Another player I put on...
His voice would go hoarse.
We could now, David, it's good you chipped in there because it's time to come to you to see if you made me. So we've mentioned Brooks there. Are you tempted by getting Brooks in for Maddison?
Well, I've got Fraser, so not really, no.
Okay.
I don't really want to double. I wish I didn't have Fraser so that it would be an easy one. What I'm looking at is either holding Maddison or signing Shaqiri. They're kind of the two that I've pulled it down to, and it's kind of annoying because I've been not really making rash decisions all season, and I didn't go in on Kane for kind of the reason why I thought it was short term, and that's exactly what Shaqiri is because I'm not really going to want him next week. What I do want is I want Richarlison next week, but because I wanted to hold this week, save the transfers, use one of them next week to get Richarlison in for Maddison probably. Okay.
So you're not.
But I don't want to sign Richarlison this week. That's the thing. So I feel like Shaqiri could be a nice little placeholder for Richarlison.
So Shaqiri's your man. So let's come to Shaqiri now. So one of the key stat there is 2 starts. So that's, you know what you're getting there. You're getting a guy who's not going to start. But he could start this week against Fulham. But also he could... I like the look of Shaqiri when he comes on for 10, 20 minutes as well. I like the look of him in general. He's a good player. He's created 7 goal attempts and 6 chances this season, but from just 2 starts. So that's not too bad, I don't think. That's okay.
He'd be up there with Sigurdsson, wouldn't he, if you kind of average it out.
Yeah, if you imagine him with an 11 digit on that starts column instead of 2, he would be a real force to be reckoned with. So, yeah.
It's a 1 week punt at best, but he could do well this week. That's the key, isn't it? So,
do you think David should go for the Shaqiri move? You're not?
I was pretty tempted yesterday. I was similar to David. I was between Shaqiri, Holding... Not Rob Holding.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can't sign him for Maddison.
Holding the transfer to kind of keep the move, or end up making the other transfer. But the problem with Shaqiri is like you just said, it just seems so short term, and it just kind of feels like you're just giving yourself a headache with another transfer. You might get some points from this week, but he could do really well this week, and then you might be tempted to hold him, and then he doesn't play, or you just kind of know that you're going to have to transfer him out. And I mean, historically, Shaqiri hasn't been a 15, 20 goal person, and if you end up having to maybe having to take hits to take him out and all that kind of stuff, it really dents his appeal, I think. So I don't know, I think he's a great option this week. I think he's going to play, probably do quite well, might get a goal, a assist or something, might get 11, 12 points, but I don't think it's, if you were going to captain him maybe, but not as a random.
Okay, well,
I don't think.
I'm in. David, just go for it. You've been.
You guys have really helped me.
Your transfer moves have been even more boring than mine this season. You need to just have
that
one.
Is true.
I
do need to make up for it, don't I?
You need 1 week off. Just take a little holiday, a little tiny little break from the dull kind of Margate scenery, and really, have a luxurious day out in Goa. I could go to Switzerland, didn't I? Well, Switzerland obviously would be more apt, but
the Alps.
But I was just thinking somewhere a little bit sunnier and nicer.
I mean that's kind of what I've been telling myself the last couple of days. That's what I should do. It seems like you said basically what my brain's been saying. I'm going to do it now.
You're doing it now?
I've done it, yeah.
Well, you just got Shaqiri.
Shaqiri's in.
Yeah,
Have you just got
Shaqiri's
in?
in.
Just because I wound you up? You fool.
No, well, no, but I've been thinking that way anyway. So, I mean, it's just,
I'm joking.
for someone
It's
to
a good
echo
move.
what I've been thinking. Yeah.
Have you thought about putting the triple captain on Shaqiri?
Yeah. 1 second.
I think that's a really good move because you want Richarlison. So say the Shaqiri thing doesn't pan out. Say you just change your mind. You just change Shaqiri to Richarlison. How many transfer moves have we all made that have gone wrong? And you're in a position where, some people say, it might be a waste of a transfer, but you've got a good player in for a good fixture. You might want to keep him, and then you can move him on. So,
he's a placeholder. I just see him as a placeholder who could do well.
Okay.
That slot is up for grabs. Richarlison's got it next week. He's not got it this week.
Well, we were going to come to my team, but we might as well just go put your team up now. So you've made this move here. Because we can go, you can reveal the team sheets during this chat. But so you've got Maddison out, Shaqiri is now in. So the team that we've got up on the screen now, that's you, and you're just raring to go now. Salah captain, Shaqiri in. You feeling good?
That's right. Yeah, I mean, the only one I was a bit worried about starting Doherty, but I think he's due a goal. I just feel attacking returns in that game for Doherty. So I know some people have been talking about benching him, but Arsenal have conceded more big chances at home than any other team, and he just kind of looks almost like their biggest goal threat outside of Jimenez. So
I
want to play him now.
Doctor.
Well, why don't you do it? Do it. I've been impressionable this morning.
This is do it.
Richarlison doesn't play.
Now, I'm on a roll here because I basically said get Shaqiri and David's just done it. So you've got to play Doherty, and I think you should bench someone like Robertson. He might not even start.
Salah, not a great option.
Success, because you're playing Doherty over success, right?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be my thing. But there's a minute left. I haven't changed it all week. No. I'm not going to change it now.
Okay. So looking elsewhere across your team there, obviously Az has gone for Salah captain. You've gone for Salah captain as well. You got a really good team in place there. You've got the Ram, the mighty Ram, is there now a Dram, and then you've got Fabianski against Huddersfield. Huddersfield attack we know is poor. Yes, they scored against Fulham, but obviously it was just one goal, and teams should
be a set piece as well. I think.
Yeah, so I think
no goals from open play yet.
I'm tempted in my Sky team for today to actually captain Fabianski if I don't get anyone in for Maddison. That's how highly I rate him. Got Arnautovic there. I mean, can't argue with it. I think if your only decision aside from getting Shaqiri in is whether to play Success or Doherty, then that says to me you got a good side there. What's the long-term plan though for that? You're looking at Richarlison in, and anything else? Are you looking to perhaps do a downgrade or something? Something a bit more exciting. Future
doesn't get much more exciting than Shaqiri and Maddison, right? No. I think I'm still, like I said on the Scoutcast the other day. It's a case of I'm weighing up what's available for Spurs and probably Arsenal just with that fixture swing, and I'm just hoping and praying that someone like Dele Alli or your boyfriend Christian Eriksen, does something that makes me want to get them between now and game week 15-16, because I don't really want to have to break my team to get Kane, but if it gets to that stage and Kane looks like the only one who can really capitalise on those fixtures, then it kind of forces my hand. So I want to keep my options kind of open a little bit. Maybe save some money where I can. Getting Richarlison next week will mean that I'll have about $1 million in my bank. So, yeah.
Okay.
There's not it's not set in stone my long-term plan. It's more a case of I've got a lot of research left to do. Really.
Got a bit of flexibility there, and we've got the international break to decide. Meanwhile, it's now 11:30. Do we have the exciting team sheets in?
We do. Exciting team sheets from Brighton, Cardiff.
From Cardiff,
yeah, exactly.
Wales's best team. Against Brighton, which is the best team in Sussex.
Doesn't get much more exciting than that. Yeah, so Cardiff lining up with a very exciting 4-2-3-1. They've made one change in the back four, so Cunningham comes in at left back. Bamba is not in goal this week. Morrison, Echo Mango is back four, and obviously Edridge in goal. Murphy, Rules, Gunnarsson, and Kadeem Harris gets a start on the right wing. Camarasa is playing number 10, so that's exciting for people who've got him.
4.5.
And Callum Patterson up front.
Ooh.
So
5.1 mid.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll
Yeah,
tell you
Bobby
what.
Reed on the bench, Peltier's on the bench, everybody's favourite 3.9,
Okay.
and No Zahor on the bench.
Now,
So yeah, that's the Cardiff team, and if you'll bear with me, I'll just grab the Brighton one as well. So the Brighton team is Matt Ryan in goal. Montoya looks like he's come in for Bruno. Duffy and Dunk centre back. Bong at left back. Knockout's back in the starting 11.
oh, good.
We got Stevens and Kyle central midfield. Izquierdo. It looks like a 4-4-1-1 as per usual. Knockout on the right, Izquierdo on the left. Solly March number 10, and Glenn Murray up front.
Okay,
So
I like the sound of that team.
What we thought. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Knockout could be keen to make a mark as well. It's not going to try very hard, at least. I think okay, so just looking at those team sheets there, one of the things that interests me, as a slight aside, I'm looking for a new person in my Sky team, and Callum Patterson I think could be quite a good one there, because he's a defender.
Is he a defender in Sky?
He's a defender, and he's one of, not only that, he's one of the cheapest defenders in there. So that's the equivalent of Wan-Bissaka playing up front against a team that's not very good away, which is Brighton. So I'm quite good for that. Okay, let's move on to my team. You'll be pleased to know that I've combined boring dullard-ity, if that's a word, with something quite exciting, in that I've taken my second hit of the season. Ooh, I know. It's exciting times. Mitrovic is finally gone. I don't think I should. In hindsight, I still wouldn't have taken him out ahead of that game against Huddersfield. But finally, I've got Arnautovic in, a player I've had earlier this season and have coveted ever since. And I think to be honest, I've got lucky with just missing out on one double-digit haul from him. I think there could have been more, especially that Brighton game. Looking forward to playing Arnautovic from now right up until, I believe, January the 12th, when their fixtures suddenly turn. So I think he'll pay that hit back. As that make weight, Maddison has emerged as the guy to make way, and I've got in Goodmanson. One of the reasons is that I only had 6.3 to spend. So the player I particularly wanted, Sigurdsson, he was out of the equation. Also, I'd obviously like those Bournemouth players, but I've got Fraser, and I really didn't like the thought of doubling up with Fraser and Brooks over that time as well. So that's why I went for Goodmanson. I had a look on Rate My Team on the Fantasy Football Sky website, and I filtered it to 6.5 midfielders next three, and who was top? It was Goodmanson. So Goodmanson is going to be the best value points-wise over those three games, according to Robot. So I'm hopeful of that as well. One of the weird things about Goodmanson, which I didn't quite realise, was pointed out actually after I made the move, or after I decided to get him in, is that he weirdly rotates exceptionally well with Fraser. Now Fraser's fixtures, so for example, Goodmanson has tricky matches in game weeks 15, 17 and 18, but the rest are really good all the way up to, once again, 12th of January. So Goodmanson's got Liverpool at home game week 15, Spurs away game week 17 and Arsenal away game week 18. And during that time, Fraser has Huddersfield, Wolves and Brighton. Now I've got two moves in mind. I'm considering getting a 5-man midfield together, in which case Fraser could drop out some weeks and Goodmanson some weeks, and moving Højbjerg to either Richarlison or Sigurdsson for a hit the following week. So that would work out there. I can also play 4 at the back, I think. Now, starting to give myself a bit more flexibility. I'm not playing Doherty this week. He's first sub, which means he'll score, because every time I come on here with a Wolves defender first sub, they score. But I do think I'm going to be looking to play Wolves Doherty the following week, and a good few weeks after that. So I might be going 4 at the back. So it's a kind of accidental bit of flexibility that Goodmanson and Fraser have given me. Chances are I will probably move Goodmanson on though, but you never know. But he's a player I'm quite happy to have, and he's. I mean, it depends which, cup half full or cup half empty. Looking at his stats, so I'll get the Maddison table back up again because Goodmanson's there. He's pretty much overperformed. So he's had 15 goal attempts, scored twice. I wouldn't say that's overperforming. That's probably, quite good. But his assists ratio, so he's only created 12 chances, and he's had 4 assists. So, okay, so yeah, that is overperforming there. But let's give him a go. like, David's given Shaqiri a go. Az has given Brooks a go.
Yeah, it's quite nice. We've all gone for different.
And I've gone for Goodmanson. Do you know what? It just felt, there's a lot of people say, go with your gut and all of those things, which don't really mean anything. Goodmanson feels so right to me. I don't know why. In our moderators and contributors league, Granville's had Goodmanson. And I really envied that move. And I just thought, I wish I'd done that. Goodmanson's my kind of man. The deadline has now passed. I just want to say, now I don't know what moves Mark has made. There's been lots of interest about Mark's moves recently. He's taken a few hits, and he's either got 20 points or last week 109 points and swept up to the edge of the top 10,000. This week he's taken a -8, so he's made 3 moves again.
Crazy.
And I can't reveal what he's done because I've only just noticed while we were recording, while we were streaming, and I looked at his team and it was really good. Anyway, I to be honest, I don't know, but he knows what he's doing. So whatever he's done, he's going to be on for another 100 points possibly.
Liverpool double up maybe.
It could
like
be.
Mane and Salah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he's got Shaqiri in. Who wouldn't do that?
I would love it if he's got Shaqiri in. I think it's important to join the Shaqiri fan club. So let's have a look. Let's have a look back at the fixtures again. So look at some of the matches that are coming up here. So obviously, what do we think is going to happen in some of these, and what surprises do we think? Do we think that Liverpool are obviously going to trash Fulham, or and just looking at the other fixtures there, what do you think? Any surprises there? As first.
Maybe the Everton-Chelsea game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think Chelsea have got a really good record against Everton, but I still think teams can get at them with Luiz and Rudiger. So, it'd be interesting. I'd like to see Richarlison play because I think he could cause some damage. If he doesn't play, then they'll probably put Tuchel up front, wouldn't they? And it's probably a bit less likely to happen. But yeah, I think that game's going to be quite exciting. Arsenal Wolves as well. I mean, that is going to be there's going to be goals in that game, I think. And yeah, I find that game quite tough to call as well. I mean, Wolves are they defensively they've really gone off the boil, but they're still scoring a lot. And I think Arsenal have got some more injuries to contend with and things. But yeah, I think that game Wolves could surprise a few people.
Okay, what about you, David? You looking at those fixtures there, which do you think are going to go by the book and which are going to just rip that book up?
Well, I mean, this will sound weird because I've got Fabianski in and I've started him, but I have this sneaky suspicion that Huddersfield will just get a set-piece goal against West Ham that will just mean nothing. It'll be 3-0 to West Ham, and then Mounier will score with his bum or something from a set-piece. Yeah, I've got that feel. I've got that. It's in my gut. But the big one that I think is not going to go the way people exactly expect is Man City, Man United. A lot of people think that Man City will walk it. And of course, that's plausible because it's Man City. But I don't know, there's just something about Man United, after seeing Mourinho doing his Popeye impression the other night. I don't know. There's something rumbling at Man United. There's something I can't quantify. They're terrible defensively. They can't play first halves to save their life. But I don't know. I just think that's going to be a barnstormer. United win that 3-2. I'm not going to be surprised because they're the comeback kings now. They always were.
I think a lot depends on Pogba. Now Pogba goes into this match as an injury doubt. If Pogba's on form, as we've seen in I think it was last season's this same fixture, and Pogba just took the game by the scruff of the neck and off he went. It all depends. It depends on who they play up front as well. Lukaku's potentially back. They could play Sanchez there, and then you've got that seems to help Martial. They certainly seem to do better in second halves when Sanchez has come on, or whether he's already started. One of the Leicester Burnley one is a tough one to call, and I think that could.
Maguire, have they? So
I could be a 0-0 but I don't know because it's the first home game back, so Leicester are going to be really fired up. So that means there's going to be a lot of shots going in there. So that's why I played Hart over Hennessy. I fancy. I've just gone for saves. I just think both are potentially poor defensive fixtures there. But I don't know. That's a tough one to call. I hope
they made the point last week that the Leicester players hadn't really trained much before that game.
Yeah, because they've been in Thailand, haven't they?
Yeah, it's interesting to know if they've managed to kind of get back to normality this week, or whether they're still kind of, because there must be still big loads of. It must be so weird.
It is as well, because without Maddison, I know Maddison hasn't done much, he's blank, but he has been the guy on the corners, he's been doing the free kicks, and I've been watching some of them, and he's been he's so close to getting a haul of assists, just not quite there. Vardy just doesn't seem the same player this season, and without Maguire as well, I think there could be some conceding goals.
I think Burnley will score.
Yeah, I think there could be goals in that game. I think that's a tough one to call. Newcastle, Bournemouth, you'll find interesting as well. I mean, Bournemouth's on form, but Newcastle aren't shipping a lot of goals, and I think Benitez is slowly working his magic. We did think they would do better with these better fixtures as well, but there's a lot of
no Lascelles, right?
Yeah, no Lascelles, and no Shelvey.
Allowing a lot of shots as well.
Yeah, no Shelvey either, and Shelvey gets a bad press sometimes, but he's still an asset, I think, for a team like Newcastle. Obviously, apart from when he gets a red card. But I think this is an interesting week, because I think because we've got all the top teams playing on the Sunday. And you would expect Arsenal, Chelsea and Liverpool to prevail in those, but the Saturday's games are all quite tough, really. I think even the Spurs Palace one is a real tough one to call. That's a real because you just don't know what they're going to play after their European game, and I'm kind of waiting for a strong Palace defensive performance. I mean, have you both still got Wan-Bissaka, and are you tempted to keep him and hopefully play him over Christmas? I'm
thinking to keep. Yeah, exactly that.
I was thinking about getting rid of him this week for Dunk, because I thought Brighton's fixtures are still really good. Wan-Bissaka's are terrible, but then I thought, well, I'm probably not going to play Dunk that much. I play him this week, but then probably bench him for the next couple. And actually, in 2 weeks' time, suddenly Palace's fixtures are really good again, and Wan-Bissaka is still playing really well. So when the clean sheets start coming again, when these awful fixture run ends, I think he's going to be a good option, and people are going to be trying to get him back, because he's still only 4.2 mil, which is crazy cheap, really.
I think
I'm happy to hold him.
Yeah, he's 4 million. But essentially, he's 4. If you bought him 4 million, he's 4 million. Don't even look at what his price is now or what he should be. He's a 4 million player.
He might be 4.3.
Yeah,
but, it's 4.2.
Yeah,
right. We signed him at 4 million, so you're right. No, yeah.
I mean, I've got Hennessy as well, and I'm going to keep him for a little while. But I'm going to admit a blunder, really. It's Patricio and Fabianski is the wonder 4.5 duo to have, and I have neither. So, anyway, just before
I warned you about this before.
I know. I didn't listen. But just before we go, just quick latest from the goals imminent table going into this. According to the goals imminent table, it could be a good week for Kennedy owners. Although I think he has a bit of the Nathan Redmonds about him, with his 14 goal attempts and no goals last 4. Ruben Neves, even though he can't get into the penalty box, he could be on for another one. So he's having a lot of those shots from long range. Harry Kane. The stats say there's more to come from Harry Kane. Sigurdsson's there. More to come from him. I mean, 10 goal attempts last 4, just 1 goal, really. So, been racking up the assists, but just the 1 goal there. So, definitely more there. And Pogba's there. So, if he's fit, I think Pogba could do well if he's actually playing. Obviously, he can't if he's not on the pitch. But for now, David, thanks so much for joining me. And good luck.
Cheers, thank you.
Good luck with Brooks. Good luck with Shaqiri, and
I think I'm going to need it.
And hopefully we can have have a giant thunderclap when Gudmundsson scores later as well. But for now, good luck and goodbye.
Cheers, thanks guys.